so delighted you're joining me right now for Blissberry Bear's Holiday Story Time. My name is Timothy, and sitting on my lap is Blissberry Bear. Blissberry zoomed into my life 40 years ago from the Great Bear constellation in his blue pearl starship to tell children of all ages magical, mystical fairy tales of the heart. Fairy tales that are fun, entertaining, educational, inspiring, and written specifically to help your children develop their full potential. They blend fantasy and reality with tips for helping you and your children successfully navigate daily life. Together, Blissberry and I have written over 85 fairy tales, and today's Christmas tale is titled, Is Santa Claus Real? This is the first Christmas tale Blissberry whispered in my ears once upon a Christmas time long ago. I was on a spiritual retreat in India where I met a young boy from America who was so joyful and filled with love. I used his name in the story, Muralidhar. As you listen, use your imagination to create pictures of the words and bring the story to life in your mind, the same way Muralidhar brings things to life in his mind by playing a flute. Creating pictures in your mind builds or increases your creative imagination, talents, and skills, the same way physical exercising builds your muscles. Did you know a child's level of creativity is the basis on which their entire world and future success is built? Listening to fairy tales like this and creating your own pictures is the #1 way to grow your imagination muscles. So, right now, light up your imaginations like the tallest, brightest lit Christmas tree in the world and create pictures in your mind as you listen. Maybe you could even draw what you're imagining. Get comfy too. It's a really long tale as we travel back in time over 1700 years. Goldilocks would definitely call it a Papa Bear long tale. Sitting on a light brown cinder block wall about 2 feet high, young Muralidhar played his silver flute, trying to imitate the birds chirping in the trees above. Every day after school, he searched for new melodies, new ways of combining notes, new musical arrangements that would take him on magical journeys taking him deep into the deep recesses of his mind where secret passages would be unlocked. Secret passages that led to places so familiar, yet so far away. Secret passages that felt like home, but not home as he knew it on earth. Secret passages that held answers to questions he never dared ask out loud. Questions like, do snails make noise as they crawl? If you can see your dreams with your eyes closed, is it possible to see the world with your eyes closed? Is Santa Claus real? Some of these secret passages even held answers to test questions he had at school. Yes, somehow, some way, Muralidhar's flute was like a sixth sense. He just seemed to know things that others didn't. What he didn't know was how to be careful about sharing such secrets. You see, Muralidhar wanted everybody to know what he knew. He wanted to share the secrets, the mysteries of these secret passages with all his friends. I mean, Who wouldn't want to hear about such wondrous things? Things you can't see on television, things you can't buy in stores, things that seem to come from and exist only inside you. Well, children, there are some people who don't want to hear about such wondrous things. They do not want to listen to anything new. It scares them. It shatters the world of ideas they have built around themselves, like houses that have no windows, no doors. And one day, Muralidhar found just such a person when he tried to share a secret passage about Santa Claus. Jimmy, Jimmy, Muralidhar hailed. Come here, quick. What's the hurry, Red? Jimmy asked as he meandered over. Why do you always call me Red? Muralidhar asked, somewhat annoyed by this label. Why don't you use my name? It's too long, Jimmy replied, afraid to reveal the real reason, afraid to share that he couldn't pronounce Muralidhar, afraid to even try, afraid someone might laugh at him for sounding funny. Not wanting to cause any trouble over his name, Muralidhar responded with, guess who I saw yesterday when I was playing my flute? Who? The man in the moon? Jimmy laughed. Failing to see that Jimmy was not the right person to share his vision with, Muralidhar said, no, Santa Claus. Sure thing, Red. Which one? Jimmy challenged. The one that sits in front of Costco, or the one that rides in the Santa Claus Lane Parade? Or maybe the one down at the Christmas tree lot? No, Jimmy, the real one, Muralidhar asserted. Get off it, Red, Jimmy quipped. There's no such thing. But before Muralidhar could finish his sentence, Jimmy stated, look, kid, there's no real Santa Claus. There can't be. Why, they're on every corner, in every store at Christmas time. How can there be a real one? With that, Jimmy jumped on his bicycle, leaving Muralidhar confused and bewildered. Maybe Jimmy's right. He is older than me, and there are Santas everywhere. Guess I'll just go play my flute some more. But I know I saw him, and I know he was real. At least I thought he was real. But Jimmy says, as Muralidhar's talkative mind continued to lead him in an endless circle of confusion, he headed home for his flute, for the notes, the soothing sounds that could halt the ceaseless chatter. After finishing an easy homework assignment that was interrupted again and again by the memory of Jimmy's remarks, Muralidhar picked up his flute and dashed for the big pine tree in his backyard. The scent of the fresh needles was like the musical notes on his flute. They too traveled directly to his mind, opening corridors of awareness in which the notes of his flute could wander. As he played, Muralidhar sank deeper and deeper into his own being, further and further from the clamoring of his mind. Suddenly, he felt as if someone else was even playing the music, as if he was just the audience. That's crazy, he thought. Trailing right behind that thought was another. Is Santa Claus real? Now, if there's one thing I've learned from the Great Bear and my visits to planet Earth, it's that humans are quite unique and in some respects quite weird. Take Muralidhar, for instance. He knows his flute unlocks secret passages. He knows he has a sixth sense. He knows from experience that this sixth sense has always been right. It's never led him astray. But when someone like Jimmy comes along, look out, hold the phone. Faith flies out the window and doubt marches in the door. But at least Moralidar had the courage to ask again, is Santa Claus real? As this question lingered on in his thoughts, the blue pearl starship formed around me and I was off, but not for my usual landing. Before Moralidar's mixed up mind could conjure up another thought, there I was, writing on a musical note deep within his being. Blissberry Bear, how in the world did you get in my mind? Moralidar stuttered. How is not important. I came in response to your question, I replied. Question? What question? Moralidar asked, a little stunned that he was carrying on a conversation while still playing his flute. About Santa Claus, I answered. I saw him. I know I did, Moralidar pleaded. But Jimmy says he's not real. That Santas are everywhere at Christmas just for show. And they are. I see them everywhere too. Moralidar, I began, your flute has taken you on many magical journeys. Trust what comes within you, my child. Listen to your own truth. The words of others are only good if they ring of truth within you. Have faith. Has your flute always been true to you before? Why, yes, Blissberry Bear, Moralidar agreed. But Jimmy's older. Truth does not come from age, I affirmed. It comes from within. It comes from wisdom. Keep playing your flute, and again, it will reveal the answer to your question. But Jimmy, Moralidar thought, how will I convince him? That's not important, I assured. You have asked an inner question. The answer is yours, your truth, no matter who believes you. It's a universal promise. Seek, and ye shall find. Unlocking the mysteries within yourself, I continued, is far more important than convincing others. Besides, there are others who know, others who've asked. You'll run across them someday. As Moralidar started to ask, where will I meet? My magical heart began to pulsate and glow. Framed by a silver white mist, rays of the most brilliant, almost blinding silver white light poured out. Light that seemed to dance and swirl like the tail of a tall, proud Arabian horse. Suddenly, there actually was a horse, tall and silver white, with the mane and tail that glittered like millions of diamonds. A gentle nudge from her head whisked Moralidar atop her back. Where are you taking me? He called out as they galloped through the tunnels of time. A deep, echoing voice that filled every molecule of space bellowed, back to my birth, back to the beginning of Santa Claus. Then you really did exist, Moralidar exclaimed. Did and do, young man, the voice replied. Faith. Always have faith. It takes faith to see the unseen, to hear the unspoken, and to know the unknown. Centuries of civilizations whizzed by as Moralidar galloped back almost 1,700 years of time. In less time than it takes to win the Kentucky Derby, he found himself in a very strange land. Houses were different. Streets were different. Clothes were different. Everything was different. Where am I? Moralidar called out, noticing that somehow, some way, the silver white horse had mysteriously disappeared. Hey, how am I going to get back? You'll get back, a voice reassured. Turning to face the owner of that voice, Moralidar stood nose to belly with a tall, slender man garbed in bishop's clothes. How do you know? Moralidar challenged. Trust, my lad, trust. the bishop replied. It is I you came in search of. Santa Claus, Moralidar gasped. You're Santa Claus? The name is St. Nicholas, the voice replied, and you're in a land called Patara. But I was just in Honolulu, Hawaii, Moralidar exclaimed, and it was 2008 when I left. Well, St. Nicholas replied, you're now in the year 308. How in the world did I get all the way back here? Moralidar asked. And why? You wanted the truth about Santa Claus, didn't you? St. Nicholas answered. Some truths aren't found in the world as you see it. They are found in the inner worlds, worlds holding all the treasures of the rainbow, worlds your flute has taken you to. But you're not chubby with a white beard, Moralidar stated. And you're not wearing a red suit trimmed in red fur and white fur. You can't be Santa Claus. Moralidar, St. Nicholas began. Things change. My appearance changed several times over the centuries to accommodate the developing world, the world you live in. Not paying much attention to what sounded like another grown-up excuse, Moralidar added, and your reindeer. Where are your reindeer? Moralidar, St. Nicholas snapped, jolting him to awareness. You asked for the real Santa Claus, the truth. Sometimes the actual truth doesn't fit your concepts. Concepts? Moralidar looked quite puzzled. Yes, concepts. The way you think things should be, St. Nicholas replied. Like me being a chubby, bearded man with a red and white suit with reindeer. That's the Santa Claus of your world, a Santa Claus who evolved to meet the needs of millions upon millions of children who are not on Earth in the year 308. But how did you change? Moralidar asked. Now we're getting somewhere, lad, St. Nicholas smiled. Keep an open mind and heart so the truth can flow to you. The tale is really quite simple. As Moralidar and St. Nicholas retreated to the shade of a nearby tent, St. Nicholas began to explain how Santa Claus came to life in the hearts of people. In that house over there lived a very poor man with 3 daughters. Daughters no one would marry because the man was too poor to afford a dowry. You see, in my day, husbands expected money or gifts from their bride's family. Passing by their house one day, I overheard their predicament. And at that time, I just happened to have some extra money come my way, money I didn't need for myself. So I divided it into 3 bags and flung them through an open window in the man's house. You gave your money away? Moralidar exclaimed. Weren't you afraid you might become poor like that man? No, lad, St. Nicholas assured. I keep only what I need and pass on the rest. Just like God cares for the birds in the sky and the grain in the fields, he feeds, clothes, and shelters me. Our Santa Claus gives away gifts too, Moralidar remarked, and he has a bag too. Well, eventually, St. Nicholas continued, I needed a horse to help me carry the things I was giving away. It seemed the more I gave away, the more I had to give away. A horse? Moralidar exclaimed. What about the 8 reindeer and Rudolph? Slow down, lad, St. Nicholas chuckled. All in good time, all in good time. After I passed away, leaving this earth, they set aside a holiday in my honor, December 6th, St. Nicholas Day. But Santa comes on Christmas Day, December 25th, Moralidar stated. Don't you even know when Christmas comes? Christmas does not come on December 25th Everywhere in the world, Muralidhar, St. Nicholas replied. Even in 2008, there are countries in your world that celebrate St. Nicholas Day, December 6th. They do not celebrate Christmas Day, December 25th. What countries? Muralidhar asked, never having heard of such a thing. Austria, Belgium, Hungary, Netherlands, and parts of Germany, to name a few, St. Nicholas responded. Wow, I thought everyone celebrated Christmas at the same time, Muralidhar voiced. There are many lands and many customs, my lad. America is quite young and new. Answers to many secrets lay outside her soil in lands that existed centuries before her birth. If you would like to know some more about some of these customs and traditions in other countries, when you get back, ask your mom to help you search for those on the internet. Wow, Muralidhar sighed. I'm learning so much. But you said you passed away. If you passed away, then how did Santa make it to 2008? Well, before I passed away, I had a very close friend, a young friend who was about your age, St. Nicholas continued, a friend who watched and stayed with me, a friend whose heart was open to all he met and all I had to offer. But he was so young, Muralidhar interrupted. I'm only 7 years old. Love does not know age, St. Nicholas replied, nor does it know color or countries. Anyway, when I passed on, this lad continued in my footsteps. He traveled and gave, traveled and gave. As he grew older, the world grew bigger. More and more people kept being born. More and more people heard the legend of St. Nicholas. How did he do it? Muralidhar asked. How did he get to everyone? It's miraculously magic, Muralidhar, St. Nicholas grinned. Miraculously magic. When love is calling, a way is found. The truth appears. Well, what happened? Muralidhar asked. Deep within a dream, one night, a voice spoke to my friend, St. Nicholas replied. Wow, what did it say? What did it say? Muralidhar asked, waiting to hear the answer. It said, leave your home, leave your possessions, bring only your heart full of love. You have a mission to fulfill, St. Nicholas recounted. What mission? Muralidhar asked. The mission of Santa Claus, St. Nicholas spoke as a twinkle appeared in his eyes. The mission of spreading love throughout the world. But what happened to your friend? Muralidhar asked. As he started walking out of town, he was whisked away to another realm, a realm where time stands still, a realm where he could travel around the world in an instant, be at everyone's door in one night, St. Nicholas explained. Some say he disappeared on the back of a silver white horse with a mane and tail that glittered like millions of diamonds. Silver, 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 silver white horse. But before Muralidhar could complete his thought about his own silver white horse, St. Nicholas continued. For centuries, my friend entered the hearts of millions. His love spread so far and wide, he too grew round and jolly. By the late 1800s, when one of your popular writers saw him in a vision, he indeed was plump and jolly, with a beard, red and white suit, a red nose, and twinkling eyes. Eyes of love, deep pools of love. When did he get the sleigh and reindeer? Muralidhar asked. The day he disappeared, St. Nicholas replied. Every century for 900 years, a new reindeer appeared, providing more and more power to whisk the sleigh as the world's population grew and grew. But aren't horses faster, Moralidar asked. Why reindeer? Look into the eyes of a reindeer, lad. They're pure love, St. Nicholas explained. Love is the power that pulls Santa's sleigh. And with each reindeer, a new gift was brought to the world. A new gift? What do you mean? Moralidar asked. I never heard of any. Before Moralidar could finish his statement, St. Nicholas continued. As the reindeer pull Santa's sleigh around the world, their hoofprints leave trails of light, light that floats to the earth, light of many different colors, light containing gifts of supreme grace. Dasher, for instance, leaves particles of red light. Each shimmering, glimmering particle of red light contains the gift of distinguishing true spirit, true love to the hearts of all it penetrates. Its powers are bold and creative. Wow, that's cool. How can I find and see such light? Moralidar asked. Do I stand outside on Christmas Eve? You don't find the light, lad, St. Nicholas replied. The light finds you when you're ready to learn and practice its gift on earth. Santa has rounded your world countless times, leaving brilliant rainbows of unseen light, just hovering and waiting for the right heart to open up to its magical gifts. There's a droplet of each color for everyone. Wow, Moralidar shouted, would I like to take a shower in that rainbow? Live as love, Moralidar, and you will be showered by all the colors, all the gifts, St. Nicholas assured. The gift of dancer, seeing oneness where duality appears, will enter your heart. Contained in droplets of orange, its powers are balance, harmony, and walking the middle path. The bright yellow light of Prancer sprinkles the gift of faith around the world. It brings cheer, the sun, the light to the hearts of people. The soothing green light of Vixen spreads its gift of healing to all in need. Comet blazes a trail of turquoise across the sky. With its power of adaptability, it brings together the different languages of the world. The five senses, the five races come together as the 5 points in the star of humanity. Cupid is the royal blue light of working miracles. Its deep, rich color is powerful in a quiet way, just as miracles seem to come out from the blue and transform all who witness their wonder. Donder dashes droplets of violet as he pulls Santa's sleigh. Bearing the gift of prophecy, the violet light is mysterious, quiet, yet alive, a blend of heaven and earth. Blitzen blazes a trail of pink to spread the gift of knowledge. This is the power of the bold, creative red in its higher form, bringing love, warmth, and generosity to the hearts of man. One learns for every action, there is a reaction. Love brings love. Then there's Rudolph. His nose may be red like Santa's, but his hoofs kick up light particles of yellow gold. The wisdom of all time floats to earth in a soft halo for all who care to dive inside like you have, lad. Moralidar was stunned, almost speechless. Not in his wildest dreams did he ever begin to think that Santa meant so much. But why are there so many Santas? Santa's on every street corner. Santa's in every store, Moralidar stuttered. Are they all the same friend who disappeared to become Santa? No, Moralidar, St. Nicholas chuckled. Remember, my friend lives in that other realm, a realm you can travel to in your dreams. But the love of Santa has become so powerful. People all around the world dress up to help my friend spread that love. That way, children really can sit in a lap of love. As he listened to St. Nicholas, Moralidar's eyes became very heavy. Moralidar, St. Nicholas prodded. Did you hear me? You look lost. Oh, yeah, I heard you, Moralidar replied. I'm just getting a little tired and was wondering how I was going to get back. Instantly, the sound of sleigh bells filled the air. Moralidar's tired eyes suddenly sparkled as they watched a dazzling rainbow, hugged on both sides by glittering streams of pink and yellow golden light spread across the sky. Quicker than his eyes could blink, Moralidar found himself riding right next to Santa in his sleigh, trekking through the tunnels of time. As they approached 2008, that deep, echoing voice once again filled every molecule of space. I will always find a way into your world, always. Be it as a chirping bird, the soft beauty of a rose, the scent of pine, a fluffy kitten, or Santa Claus. I am love. I am eternal. I am the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. Call me St. Nicholas, Kris Kringle, Father Christmas, or Papa Noel. Call me the Lord of Love, the Prince of Peace, or even Santa Claus. I am love. I am love. I am. Ho, 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 ho. As the echo of the last ho disappeared, Moralidar heard another familiar voice. Moralidar, it's dinner time, his mother called. By the way, you've been playing some of the loveliest music I've ever heard. Where did you learn that? A somewhat dazed Moralidar simply opened his eyes and said, Mom, can I sit on your lap a minute? And as Blissberry loves to end every tale with wishes for your everlasting happiness and peace, with prayers for peace among all people, and with great love and great respect for your individual adventure in life, Blissberry and I love you. And Blissberry and I have many very special ways to help lots and lots of children and families like you thrive in all ways. You can get started right now with stories, exercises, some guided visualizations and meditations, and some songs that are free at blissberrybear.com. There's something there for everyone in your family that you can use immediately to be happier, healthier, more peaceful, focused, and inspired to thrive your ways through life. I'll also put the link for this story, Is Santa Claus Real, in the description. Also, look for the Blissberry Bears Beyond a Book Club. This unique club has over 85 tales, a live story time every month for children, along with a very special Build a Book project each month. For Mama and Papa Bears, I lead 2 live gatherings a month on Zoom to assist you in parenting or re-energizing yourselves whenever you need it, from the bliss and love of our one heart. Merry, Merry Christmas and happy holidays, happy holy days, decorated with rainbow sparkling blessings, blessings, blessings.